Well, what would March Madness be without some great food to accompany the game watching? I say nothing. There's no point in watching games without food.
Without food. Hey, it can happen, but it's not going to happen here. Joining us now, we have Derek, Grant, and Jessica, all with Texas Roadhouse, all with some delicious, yummy treats. And you think March Madness, people sitting around watching those basketball games, what do you have that's going to satisfy that appetite when they're watching the basketball?
Well, hopefully a win.
Okay. Hopefully the
that's
brackets are doing okay.
There. Well, hands down, I mean, you can do just about anything. Some of the easiest things that we want to kind of show y'all tonight is our pulled pork sliders.
Okay.
They're great. And some of our rattlesnake bites. And Grant here is going to show you how to make some rattlesnake bites here in a minute. But
it's the snack that bites back.
It is true. It does have that little kick to it. So, but obviously, I mean, any game day is great. You have some steaks on the grills. You got your good ribs over here.
Yeah.
Any kind of appetizers, finger foods, our rattlesnake bites, all of our homemade rolls.
I can totally smell it.
And then the wonderful pulled pork sliders, which is great.
Yeah.
All of our pulled pork, I mean, it's really easy to make, too.
Really?
You kind of take, go out to the Walmart or any local grocery store, get your pork butts out there.
Okay. And the butt is, you want a pork butt then specifically?
Yeah, or the pork shoulders.
Pork shoulder,
more than
okay.
anything.
Okay.
You get that pork shoulder, any kind of rib seasoning or all-purpose seasoning you really put on there.
Okay, like a rub it in?
Yeah,
okay.
And get it right in the meat, tenderize it, whole 9 yards. Just put on a basic sheet tray. We let it marinate in some liquid smoke.
Okay.
We let it, for anything that we do, we typically take at least 2 to 3 days for it.
There's some TLC put in.
Oh, for sure. Well, the great thing about game days, you know exactly when it's going to be, so you're going to prepare for them.
Yeah.
So kind of load it up overnight and pour some liquid smoke underneath it and let it kind of marinate into that pork.
Okay.
And then you either cook it off for about 5.5 hours, right?
Okay.
Let it cool down. Just pull it apart, add some barbecue, throw it in. You're kind of set up for the pork, so it's great.
Okay, now you're going to show us how to make, and these things are completely delicious. The rattlesnake bite. Show us how you make some of these.
Absolutely. So what I have here is I have our jack cheese. I have some fresh cut up jalapenos. We have some chopped red peppers.
Okay.
I have our buttermilk. We have our kind of our own seasoning here for you guys.
Okay.
But you also can get whatever you want and put it together. What we have here is some granulated garlic. We got some pepper and some crushed red pepper and stuff. But if you want to add a little more kick in there, you can get some habanero pepper, whatever y'all want to add in there.
Well, if you're brave, at least.
You want to have everybody cry.
Yeah, we'll see. And then I also have some breadcrumbs. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start out by dropping these jalapenos in here with our jack cheese. This is fresh grated jack cheese here.
Okay.
We're going to drop those in. You want lots of jalapenos. That's what kind of adds that kick to it. That bite for the snake bites. And then we have our red pepper here, so I'm going to add those to that.
Okay.
Red pepper is my favorite.
Absolutely.
I love it.
It's amazing.
Adds such a nice sweetness.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then we have our seasoning, so we're just going to pretty much add all this stuff in together. All right.
Now I'm curious, what is the binder in this? Is it the cheese that kind of binds it all together?
The milk, the buttermilk, and the cheese kind of binds it together. But basically, what we're doing here is we're making our own block of cheese. So you want to definitely try and make this a day before.
Okay.
That way it can settle in the fridge and all that stuff combines a lot better.
Yeah.
You want it for at least like 6 hours, but preferably overnight. So you want to plan this one out a little bit.
Okay. I would have expected there to be like cream cheese or something that like really holds things together. So this is interesting to me.
Absolutely. So I mean, you're definitely gonna get a little bit messy because you're just gonna you got to mix it up with your hands. You got to get in there.
Unless
so
it gets
you messy. It in there, really. We're just going to get in there, and you don't want to give up until it's basically like a block of cheese. It's going to look like one block of cheese in there.
Okay.
And then you want to go ahead and wrap that up. So I'm not going to sit here and do it because it takes a while.
Forever.
It's a lot of work.
Okay.
But then,
could you do it with a mixer, or is it really better if it's done by your hand?
It's a lot better by your hands because you want to crush up that cheese. You want to really get those in there.
Mush everything
Absolutely.
together.
Everything together.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
It might be a good thing to let the kids do even. I mean, they love to like get in there. I mean, obviously you want gloves on since there's a jalapeno.
And don't wipe your eyes.
Get all the kitchen, but still.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm just going to take these off. It gets nice and messy. But the next step that you want to do is once you unwrap that block of cheese that you have, the next day you're going to take the block of cheese and you're going to have one of these here. This is a little scooper, a little melon baller. And you're going to scoop it out of the block of cheese, and then you're going to drop it into your hand again. So a lot of hand work.
Okay.
And then you're just going to take it and you're gonna round it out yourself.
Okay.
Nice little ball here. All right. So then the next thing that I want to do is you also have you have a buttermilk bath.
Okay.
So what you're going to do is you're going to dip this in the buttermilk bath.
I dip, you dip, we dip.
I dip, you dip, we dip. Let's do it.
That's how it
So
works.
now what you're going to do is you're going to drop it in the cornmeal batter here. And really, at home, y'all can have a cornmeal batter. You can have pretty much any batter that you find at the grocery store.
Okay.
Whatever you want to taste good. You're going to drop it in there. You're going to batter them up a little bit. They're going to end up looking like this.
And then we deep fry them for how long?
About a minute, minute and a half, depending on how. We have it at 350. You get in there for a minute and a half.
And you come up with this delicious bite.
bad boy.
Delicious.
And if you know it's game time and you don't want to go through all this work, I'm
they
guessing
give you
you
a
guys
call?
have the games on at Texas Roadhouse.
They're
Stop
definitely on
They'll
there.
take care of it for
Totally.
you. Okay. Thank you guys for coming in and
Fantastic.
sharing this with us. Everybody needs to get ready for those games.
Much. We'll be right back.
Perfect.